Parents who watch adult movies with their kids need to pay attention to this story. Know that kids always want to practice what they see, and they consider whatever the parent or adult does to be right to emulate. One night, a single mother of two, Kofi and Ama, was enjoying her adult movie in the living room while her kids were in the study. Unknown to her, the kids were done studying and had come down to see her, but seeing what she was watching, they just stood quiet and watched her. Suddenly, she heard a sound from behind and turned quickly, only to see her two kids behind her. "What are you two doing here? Are you not supposed to be studying?" Kofi stammered. We are done. We only came here to say goodnight," he said. Ama added, Yes, Mum. Go to bed immediately." They rushed to the room immediately. After about 5 minutes, they had not spoken to each other. Kofi made the sound as if he was clearing his throat. "So, what was that, and why was Mummy so glued to it that she didn't even notice our presence for about 15 minutes? And what kind of movie is that?" Hello, Ama. I know you are not asleep," said Kofi. "I am not asleep, Kofi. I just don't know what to say. I am as confused as you are." The strange sounds, the body movement, and their facial expression sent a chill down my body. I felt something too. I didn't know how to say it. That night, the two kids talked about it till they fell asleep. The next day, after school, Kofi and Ama went to the living room to watch cartoons. When they were on the TV, the image that popped up shocked them. Immediately, Kofi switched it off. "Is that not what Mum was watching yesterday?" "She didn't close the page," Ama asked with a shaking voice. "I'm certain it is," Kofi answered. They sat there looking at each other, thinking about what to do. "Should we watch it?" "Mum was watching, so I'm sure it's not that bad," said Kofi. "But Mum drove us out when she noticed our presence, meaning she doesn't want us to see it," Ama replied. "But I'm curious to know why she doesn't want us to see it. Are you not?" Kofi asked. Ama looked at Kofi from the corner of her eyes, twisted her mouth and smiled. "I am. Let's watch only 1 minute," she replied. They watched it, and instead of 1 minute, they watched for hours. While they watched, they kept talking about how strange the movie made them feel. After a while, their mother drove in and they rushed to the study, pretending to be studying all this while. When it was time for bed, they rushed to their room. After a while, they tiptoed to the living room to spy on their mother, and yes, she was busy watching it, and this time, they noticed something even more strange. Their mum had one hand on her 2 oranges on her chest and the other hand down her dress. She was also making the same strange sounds from the movie. Ama was about to shout after seeing this, but Kofi was quick to cover her mouth with his hands. Together, they left there without their mother noticing. In the room, Ama didn't understand why her mother was holding her own body and making those strange sounds. Playfully, Kofi touched Ama's 2 oranges and laughed. "Stop it, why would you do that?" said Ama. "Sorry sis, I wanted to see if you will also make the same strange sounds, because in the movie, the naked lady was making it when the man touched her, and Mum is also holding her chest and making the same sound." Ama was quiet for a while and said, "I felt strange when you touched it, though it was brief. So can I touch it again?" Kofi asked, and Ama nodded with a smile. Eesh, stop it. I'm feeling weird. I feel funny." "I felt funny as well," Kofi muttered. "Let's go to bed." "Bad boy," said Ama with a smile. "You liked it, so you are also a bad girl." And they both smiled. At school, Kofi couldn't stop thinking about the whole thing. The movie, what her mother was doing, the strange sounds, and how he was feeling when he touched Ama's oranges. Unknown to Kofi, Ama was also feeling the same way. At home, Ama expressed the strange feeling she gets when she is closer to any opposite gender. Kofi asked with a low tone, "Do you feel the same around me too?" "Yeah, I do, and I know you feel the same way, so stop pretending." "I'm not pretending, and it's true. I feel strange around you too." Kofi stammered, I kinda want to do what the man in the movie was doing with the lady. If you want to do it as well, then we can do it." Before he completed his sentence, Ama replied yes and smiled. "I have been waiting to experience it. I think it would be nice." Ama kissed Kofi and paused. "Did you like it?" she said softly. "Yeah," Kofi replied, and they kissed again. Kofi undressed and tossed his pants away. Ama also did the same. Gently they kissed as Kofi lay on her, pressing his engine against her powerhouse, and the deed was done. After eating the Adam's apple, they both felt shy of themselves, but they couldn't stop. They continued doing it every evening. One evening they got too engaged in eating the Adam's apple when their mother drove in. She entered the living room, and they were not there, so she thought, as usual, they were in the study. She went there and they were not there either. "These kids can't be sleeping at this time," she muttered. "I'm not even sure they have had their dinner yet, and it doesn't seem they have even been to the study today," she thought. As she approached their room, she heard strange sounds, like a man and a woman eating the Adam's apple. She couldn't believe her ears. She rushed and burst the door open. To her surprise, they were not there. The sounds she heard were from a program on the radio where a sick woman was groaning in pain, and she mistook it to be bedroom sound. Suddenly, they called her from the kitchen. "Mom, you are home already." She was confused. The house was quiet when she entered. "Were they there all this while?" she asked, but she eventually brushed it off. Kofi and Amma were an inch away from being caught. When their mother was entering the study, Kofi saw her and quickly alerted Amma. They both descended the stairs to the kitchen quietly. When the mother left the study to their room, they were already in the kitchen. "Are you two done with your homework?" she asked. "Not yet, Mom. We are experimenting with the practical biology we did in school today. It's about osmosis," the intelligent Kofi replied. "Okay, hurry and take your dinner. There is rice and stew in the fridge, microwave it and eat. I'm very tired, so I'm heading straight to bed. I'm not coming down again, so hurry and go to bed." After instructing them on what to do, she left to her room. "That was so close, Kofi. My heart just jumped out of my chest," Amma muttered. "You have no idea how I was feeling. For a moment, I wished the earth would split into two and swallow me," said Kofi. "I think we should stop this," Amma suggested. "But how do I overcome the feeling I get when I'm closer to you?" she added. "I equally feel the same way, Amma. The feeling of being in you fills my head up and I can't get it out," Kofi said inside. "Let's not beat ourselves up, Kofi. Let's just enjoy ourselves while we can." The following night, Kofi and Amma went to bed right after bathing. Their mother also went to bed immediately because she had to wake up early for an important appointment. Though they went to bed early, Kofi and Amma couldn't sleep, so they tossed and turned. "I can't sleep, Amma, no matter how hard I try." "Sorry, Kofi, come and let's cuddle." Kofi jumped on Amma's bed. As they cuddled, Kofi felt the heat between their bodies, and his rod began to stand. Amma could feel it on her thigh and her emotions got stronger. They started kissing and started eating at Adam's apple. The strange sounds got louder, and their mother heard it from her room. She rushed to their door and burst into it. Kofi and Amma jumped from the bed shivering and guilt all over their faces. Their mother was shocked. "What kind of abomination are you two doing? Who taught you this?" she shouted. That night, their mother punished them mercilessly. She gave them 10 strokes of cane each and made them sleep in separate rooms. In bed, she kept thinking of how they ended up like that, how long they had been doing this, and how she could help them. Finally, she settled on taking them to see a therapist. Kofi and Amma were taken to see the therapist every day after school. After the first week of continuous therapy, one would think they had overcome the urge they both had. After work, their mother met them in the bathhouse eating the Adam's apple. They just became addicted to each other. It was difficult for them both to be alone without climbing into each other's thighs. The therapist suggested separating them as they go through the therapy. Kofi was sent to live with his aunt in the next town. After months of therapy sessions and an introduction to the Bible, they overcame the strange addiction and got back together as normal siblings. But this victory didn't come easy. It took a serious fight and grace. Adults, please be mindful of things you do around impressionable young minds. Share your comments in the comment section. If you have ever been on such a road before or a similar road, please feel free to share it in the comment section, and any advice is equally needed to help people in this kind of situation. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. See you again.